You might have experienced different kind of error messages. And I would like simply to go through the most important ones. The first one is a circular reference. So what you can see here is I have a reference on cell C2, and if I do here a reference on cell E2, so C2 says same as E2 and E2 says same as C2, you end us with a circular reference. You can see this is incorrect, this cannot be sorted out. And you sometimes see this type of blue arrows in between those cells which form this kind of circular. The next one is you see the many hashtags. Actually, that's not a calculation error. Simply the result of the cell given in here is too big and the width of the column is too small. So if I make it a little bigger, you can see now everything is visible. Make it small again so that we have this error message. Division by 0 should be clear. So if I say 3 divided by 0, you know from math that's not allowed. I have the wrong data type. So if I would like to make a sum in a term out of a number and some kind of string, some kind of a text, then this doesn't work out. These data types conflict when trying to add them. Reference to an empty cell. So if you look F3 G6, that's this one. And I'm looking for the number 23 in the first row. This does not exist. So I'll get this error message that I'm referencing on something which does not exist. Arguments are out of accepted range. You might remember from school this sinus and cosinus function. And the value or return value of these functions is always between -1 and +1. Arcus cosinus or acos is just the reverse function. So you enter a value and try to find out what do you have to enter that the cosinus is given. However, as the value, the return value of cosinus can only be between -1 and +1, the acosinus only accepts value between -1 and 1 as an input argument. So if you enter a -2, you will get exactly this error. So let's double check. If I enter, for example, a 0, then this one works fine. Okay, let's go back to the -2 because I would like to provoke errors. References on cells are not correct. Cells are maybe deleted. For example, if I say I would like to make sum up all values in column L, that's fine. I get a 0 because nothing is in here. However, now I delete this cell. I delete this column. And suddenly, as this is deleted and not replaced by anything else, my reference is lost. So references on cells do not fit anymore. Similar this one. Names of functions or cells do not exist. You see, I have one function in here, let's say sum, but I have misspelled it. So I have done sum with several m's, and then this name is simply not found, and I have a name error. The last one with a nil is a little bit more complicated. Let's have a look. Let's start with this one. Let's put a semicolon, and what you can see is I'm summing up two ranges. I'm summing up two ranges The last error is a little bit more tricky to understand. References can't be found. Let's have a look on our situation in here. If I click in here, what you can see is I'll have two ranges, F13 to F15, which is here, and the red one, H14 to H14 to I14, which is there. Now what you can see as well is there is no semicolon between those ranges. If I'll add it, everything is fine. So once again, I'll go in here, same kind of ranges, those values and those values are summed up. If I leave the semicolon away, a new interpretation is taken. And I now take first these F in here. So what you can see is here is blue and the red region now have something in common. And I have now the 5 as a result. Why that? If there is just a blank, then the intersection of the two regions is taken as a result, which is now cell F14, I think. If I make the two regions in a way, if I design it in a way that they do not have an intersection like G14, then there is a null as an error message. Why? Because I don't have an intersection, I can't sum up something, that's why I have this null in here. These are the most often experienced faults. However, if there is no fault shown, it does not mean everything is fine. So it might be that simply the usage of your function is not done correctly, and these faults are harder to find. If you have these kind of error messages, at least you know something is not going well.